Pablo.
Lunchie.
Carlos.
And Axel.
Welcome to Quatro.
4 people.
4 opinions.
One topic.
And go.
Sorry.
I nearly said 4 topics.
Welcome.
Jump
nearly
the
said 4
gun.
You said 4 topics.
You said 4 topics.
Why? No, I nearly did.
Oh, you nearly did.
Why?
Where am I?
So happy to have you back.
Like I jumped the gun there on that
you.
press there.
That was
Lunchie.
good.
Dude,
That was
you
good.
really messed with me that time.
We will get that right one day.
Yeah.
We get better at
Shake
it.
it off.
And then we get worse.
What do we got, Ax?
You know what? This is like you got to love yourself anyway, hey? The therapy in action. I love myself. All right. So
What's the
today
his apps?
we're doing a confession. We're not learning a confession. We're doing confession. All right. So this is the proposal from hell. So what I love about this Reddit thread is that people confess stuff that like, like a confession booth type thing. So let's listen to what this guy went through.
Yeah.
This is a throwaway account and all names are fake. The story includes me, 28-year-old male, my now ex-girlfriend Elise, a 27-year-old female, her best friends Lee, 27 female, and David, 27 male. Elise and I had been together for 3 years, living together for 1.5 years. Our relationship was very strong and we were madly in love. All of our friends always used to say that we were a perfect couple. Our communication was strong. We had everything planned in our lives. I told her that I won't be marrying her before I get a job that pays well enough to build our family, and she agreed. Well, I got a very good job 2 months ago and we started planning our lives together. Our plan was to get married in the next year or two, buy a house, and then have kids when we have more financial stability. She also started dropping hints that I should propose. I was already planning to propose, so I started researching rings and proposal venues. This is when I contacted Lee and asked her to meet me and keep it a secret. I told her my plans and she confirmed that Elise would love this and also gave me suggestions, which I loved. Lee also included David, as the three of them were best friends since childhood and knew each other very well. They also helped me pick the ring. The plan was to rent a cabin surrounded by nature and wilderness, as Elise likes it a lot. I rented the cabin, and on Friday I took the day off without telling my girlfriend and met up with Lee and David and one of my friends to set up everything. I'm getting such bad vibes about Lee and David, guys. I already want to murder them. I gave instructions to my friend about how I wanted everything to be set up, as he was supposed to go there the next day before us and set up everything, flowers, cameras, everything. I went back home after that and ordered Elise's favorite takeout. We talked about her day and then went to bed. Now, a week ago, Lee had invited Elise for lunch on Saturday, the proposal day, at a new fancy place, the proposal location. She emphasized that the place was fancy so Elise wouldn't get suspicious of Lee asking her to wear a nice dress. Saturday morning, Lee and David came to our apartment to pick up Elise. As soon as they left, I called a friend of mine who was waiting around the corner, and I left soon after. Then I called my other friend who was supposed to be at the cabin and asked him how everything was going. He assured me everything was set up how I wanted it. I asked David to share the location and drive slowly or take a longer route. 10 minutes before I wanted to be there. I realized David hadn't shared the location, but it was fine. We got there and just ran in to change into a suit. Then I went to the exact position, checked the camera angles, everything was perfect, waited for my girlfriend and her friends to arrive. I thought it went slightly overboard with stalling, and I waited for another 20 minutes on top of a 40-minute drive. I'd already been there more than an hour since they left the apartment and I was getting worried. So I asked one of my friends to call David and sneakily asked how long it'd take them. He called him 2 to 3 times and no answer. Called Lee 2 to 3 times, no answer. I assumed the worst. I called David and Lee as well, no answer. I called Elise, she didn't answer. My heart was racing at this point. Called her again, Lee answered instead. I was panicking and asking her if everything was all right and why no one was answering. She went silent for 2 seconds and then started yelling at me. She told me to never call Elise again and that I was dead to her, that I was a horrible human being for doing that to her, and she doesn't want to see my face or talk to me ever again.
Oh, that took a turn.
What did
David
they do?
and David and Lee came to get Elise's stuff. And Elise doesn't want to ever step into the apartment ever again, even if I'm not there. I immediately called the parents to ask what was going on. They knew about the proposal, and we were supposed to go to their home for lunch after. They had no clue what was going on.
Okay.
And there's no answer.
There's no answer.
She told everyone that I cheated on her.
Ah, okay.
She
suspect
told
foul
everyone.
play is afoot.
Hold on. She as in the partner.
Elise told everybody.
So she told everyone that he cheated on her. That's why she stepped out, but he didn't.
She got cold feet?
Do you think the besties told her about the plan and she freaked out and wasn't actually ready?
So there's 3 possibilities, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's one of them.
It's like the besties were in on it.
This is a tough
it's
one.
horrible. It's horrible. That
So
poor bloke.
there's obviously
That poor
another
bloke.
guy involved.
There's an element
There
of foul
must
play
be,
here.
yeah.
There's got to be another guy involved.
Like to not answer, to just know what lengths this guy had gone to and still not answer the phones, all of them not answering. And then the friend answering the fiancé person's phone and yelling at him when they know what he's about to do.
Yeah, okay.
It's
so,
not
So
right.
it's definitely come from Elise. The information has come from Elise.
Yeah, with definite meddling from the 2 friends.
Well, I think we're jumping to conclusions. Like,
We have to. There are
no,
no
I'll
conclusions.
see if there's any updates.
I mean, look, this is how wide you could draw this net. You could say that maybe he did cheat. Maybe the partner, actually found some evidence that he cheated.
He says the only scenario I can think of is that Elise was cheating on me and somehow she realized I was going to propose and she freaked out and told her friends that she can't do this because I cheated on her.
Well, let's call this guy Neo. He dodged a bullet,
Yeah.
right?
He
Well,
says today
that's
is supposed
if-
to be my first day of engaged life.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to tell everyone that he was the one cheating.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
she
post
dodged
at
a
the end of
bullet.
the day.
And he's written this whole post the following day.
He's written it.
Because that what you just said there, this was supposed to be my first.
No, I think
Oh,
he
okay,
was
he was
talking
looking
in
back.
retrospect,
Okay.
yeah. But, yeah, so the 2 besties came over to fetch all her stuff and were quite rude to him. Yeah, and every time he tries to, like, work out what happened with Elise, she goes, I'm not well, leave me alone. I can't talk to you. So, and David, the friend, is gay, so he doesn't think anything's going on between them.
So whatever's happened, it has made her close the doors completely because she's
And he's
uncommunicatable.
adamant he never was horrible to her. He's adamant he did nothing wrong. He didn't cheat on her. He loved her. That's why he was planning their future and got a job and had all these dreams. Maybe he was too set and stable for her. Maybe she wasn't actually at that level yet. You know, if you're with someone and you're still just enjoying being free, single, young, and they're going, children, birth, pregnancy, wedding rings, a house that we own that you have to clean, all these like
do you think
subjects.
that he had that going
Maybe
on?
he was too ready.
He was too ready, yeah.
And she was not ready and very immature and handled it
So
really
she's
poorly.
either a coward or very brave. Yeah, net result's the same.
I just think they're knowing the
It doesn't
level.
matter in the end, right? No
Yeah.
one's getting married. I say well done.
I just think
Dodged
like
a bullet on
in
all
terms of
fronts.
kindness, right? Like, what do you think? Like in terms of kindness, they
I-
knew what he did and what level he was going to.
I actually
Superior
had
planning went
an
into this, I
engagement
didn't.
party.
Oh, really?
Did you?
I actually had an engagement
Was I
party.
there? I can't believe I wasn't there.
Probably. I can't remember.
Maybe I was.
You sound
I
like
didn't know
Ellen's
it was an
generous.
Oh, was that-
engagement
There was a
party.
good 100 people that showed up.
Up at the
Oh, really?
But you
At
know
Carry
what?
On?
You know what? Deep down, when I think back at it, I don't think I was ever going to go through with the wedding,
Yeah.
and that's the truth.
So did you break up?
Yes, I broke up, and I actually
Was
tried
it
to
a
get
fear
back together
response?
with her.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't.
I actually tried to get back together with her, and then she fell pregnant. So then that was the end of that. But yeah, like I think back to that quite often, and I think to myself, I had a whole engagement party, and deep down, I don't think I was ever actually going to go through with the
Yeah.
wedding.
And did you know
dodged the
that
bullet
at the
too.
time,
No.
or were you
As far
just
as I
going with the
understand.
process?
I knew. I kind of like. I felt like I knew that it wasn't going to happen. But we were moving and making
Well,
plans
the
in that
universe
direction.
has kind of
Yeah, that's
given you
you
an
do get
out.
swept
That-
up.
It was
in
it was a
You do
type.
get
It was a
swept
state
up.
of delusion. Really, it was like a state of delusion.
Well,
I think we are very moderated in the way that we speak about our current relationships, right? Except for me. No, but like I think that there are some emotions that I was feeling when I was going, even while being married, right? That I don't feel proud of. right? But, it's one of those things that, like, you do it and my life is happy. My life is happy. Like, we did a meditation before this episode, right? And, one of the things you asked us to do, because Ax did a guided meditation for us, right? And one of the things you asked us... Incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. I highly recommend it. The hypnotherapy is fantastic. Man. But, you said you can feel... something like...
Just pay attention to what's inside.
Yeah, swirling around in your chest or something like that, you said. And I could feel this thing like swirling around in my chest. And you said it is grabbing everything that is negative, right?
Yeah,
and
anything that's not serving you.
And not serving you. Nothing.
That's
Nothing.
Good, man.
I'm like a vessel.
I can completely
That's really
agree on that as well. I don't think
mine got
lost. Mine was like packing bags.
My whirlwind was like the F5 at the end of the Twister movie. Right? Like there's cows zipping around houses, fucking pitchforks. Fucking Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton, they're in there too somewhere.
But Carlos, you brought up a good point. You were freely able to talk about that state of mind that you were in when that relationship happened, right?
It was certainly was not my intention to string this person along.
Yeah,
absolutely was not my intention.
Yeah,
but you're along for the ride, aren't you? To an extent.
But I was kind of
along for the ride,
a victim of my own delusion.
Yeah,
in a way.
Well, don't be too hard on yourself. This is the way we're programmed.
You're doing what's expected,
and not only of like a social.
I was kind of going through the motions.
It's a DNA thing, bro. Yeah. Like this is what happens when that's our core directive is to procreate.
Yeah.
So those chemical imbalances that occur that we label love, it's perfectly designed to make you a little bit crazy to follow the prime directive. That's simple.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So don't feel bad for, nature. That is just
Lunchie,
nature.
have you had that sensation? Have you had that sensation?
Isn't he funny, this guy?
We've both experienced the aftermath of that.
We'll leave that one line.
So I'm getting married soon. So I've got 3 months till I get married.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But it's my second. And the first marriage was... The lead up to it was great. There was a lot of excitement. The day of the wedding, major red flags. Straight after the wedding, red flags everywhere. Honeymoon was a nightmare from hell. It was a red flag. I was wrapped in a red flag for 3 days in hell. And the marriage was just a fucking mess from there onwards. It was horrid. 20 years later, horrid.
So sorry, do you mind if I just drill down there a little bit? Because we've got time, right? And so, like, is that like... prior to the wedding, how long
it was
were you
okay.
dating?
It was a year and a half, and I should have made it longer.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was great. Like,
but
it was exciting
on the wedding day.
On the wedding day already, things came to light that I was like, oh, just these little things that never got better. That just were already there day one, and mess up. So now I'm dating someone who's lovely, right? A normal human being with normal feelings and expression and emotion and just normal stuff, We all have depression. Great. We handle that. We manage that. We flow and ebb with that. It's great. And I have to now keep telling myself this person is not that person. My brain is almost going, careful. It's like your Lunchie, take heed. But I don't have to feel that way now because I've been with this person a while and they're lovely and I'm safe and they're a good person. And so it's almost like I'm having to heal trauma from the other relationship as I'm experiencing joy in this one. So it's like, it's actually quite annoying some days. But today we had our phone call with births, deaths and marriages where we organised the date and everything. And it was the most normal thing. Like I felt just really warm, really happy and Jazz was just so cool. And we both had a cuddle after and then a normal day. And I thought, that's great. There's no these major ups and lows. We're just so solid, dependable. She's just amazing. And I'm just so lucky to be marrying this person. And I'm more in control of the actual wedding this time. time, where before I had very strong matriarch figures and they were like, you will do this and you will do, that's what you're wearing, that's what time, that's your bridesmaids, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have that freedom, whereas now I'm the one saying, this is how we're going to do it this time. You know, I want to make sure my bride is completely supported in every way, emotionally and everything. So it's given, I have more power this time. I'm not part of that slipstream now. I'm the prow of the boat now. And I think if people were allowed to be the prow of their own boat more, we'd have less of these sorts of things happening.
Interesting.
If each of us were breaking water instead of being trailed behind, you know? That was an Oprah Winfrey moment. I'm just going,
no.
Look under your seats.
we got Vaseline. Everyone's got Vaseline.
I feel like, that's positive, right? Like, that's nice to know that, you know, your faith in humanity's been restored. That's dope.
Yeah, it's
I love that.
happening,
I love that.
you know? It's not a finished product, but, you know,
it's nice to know that exists. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
inspiration.
and one thing I did learn, I think, from having a relationship, a wedding, and the proposals and everything that didn't go really well at either, was that I have a choice to either walk wounded or to be fully present every day, like in the moment, be present. Like from the most stupid things, like I didn't realize I was dissociated for like 20 years in a coping strategy. But sitting in the movie house the other day, I had my lady next to me, scoffing popcorn, looking cute in her dungarees, and then my kids all done up in their zhuzh, you know, looking fab. And I was watching this movie and I was enjoying the movie, and then I looked around and I was just, wow. And I was in the moment, grateful for now. Wow. I'm breathing. I've got my babies next to me, my lady. I'm so lucky.
Do you think that
I
there's
never did those moments of dropping into now.
Do you think that there's a level of authorship there that, like, you know, you're like, I created this?
Yeah, like I said, I'm the prow of the ship
one.
now. I'm not the turbulence at the back end anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a difference, there's an energy change when you are the one cutting the water. Massive.
Yeah.
You know, you're the engine, you're the everything. And I think we need to take our power back as people, you know, the four of us even. We need to all take our power back in whatever areas in our life we may not have the power anymore. Because we can't control the world around us, but we can control our response to the world around us.
Yeah.
And that's powerful shit.
And that's what, I feel like that's what you're doing. Like, so Lunchie hasn't spoken a lot this episode, but, you know, the reason, there are reasons, right? But, like,
there's a reason he's not so obnoxious right now.
I'm not sure whether I should ask this question, but is there any advice you can give with regard to that, to building your own reality, Lunchie?
I think you just can't stop moving, regardless of how kind of confronting and painful and fucking soul-sucking things can get in your circumstances. If you stop, that is the worst thing you can do. So make a small movement each time and keep those small movements going until you pick up your pace. That's all
good.
I've got.
That's good.
That's all I've got.
Yeah. So my watch must have buzzed at some point, but we're very deeply
all right,
talking.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.